It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight, we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. First play and a first pass for Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early second and long they're facing. Now the fourth-year man, it's Cam Akers. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and now long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
Now the Iowa State product, it's Kene Nwangwu. And he's going to lose yardage here. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. And here's Ryan Wright now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now a man picked up on draft night this year, DeAndre Swift. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Second down, here's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
If Goddard doesn't miss 5 games last year, there's a good chance he gives Philly a third 1,000-yard receiver. Just getting better and better, now entering his 6th season.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Eagles at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. And Danielle Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is, and we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they played much better in game two, so I would agree with you totally on that.
Second down, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Fielded just inside the 30. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Going deep here for Watkins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Osborne motions left. First down. Here's Cousins. That's caught downfield by Addison. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 35 yards the gain there. Another first down as well. Jefferson going to go in motion right. They'll run on first down with Akers. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Play action now. Cousins. A quick throw there is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7 to 3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
Now the 3rd-year man, here's Kenneth Gainwell. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on 3rd down, usually you think 4th down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on 3rd. Now Hurts going to get this to his running back, Swift. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34. They go play action with Hurts. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, 66 yards. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. Cousins on first down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott now to have the extra point. And it's 21-3. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Third and long for Cousins. Under pressure, they got him again. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
Hurts throw there taken in by Smith.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Play action. Here's Hurts. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Elliott good with a PAT. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. On first down, they'll start out with Akers. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. On third down, Cousins. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And here's Ryan Wright now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
On 2nd down, Swift.
Down to about the 22 here. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
3rd and 3.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On the option to give to Swift here. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts.
They'll roll him out right.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
And this throw will be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Hurts. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
63. Hey, let's go.
Throwing is Hurts. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 29-yard line. Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Hey, receiver. Hey, receiver. Shoot.
Cousins. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
He may go.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick-6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but
he's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Now Cousins.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Eluding the pressure right.
Oh, a first mistake for him in the ballgame as it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Following the interception, Cousins.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Out of his end zone, Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Vikings on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, no, easy.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And this is going to be incomplete.
And this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And taken right at the 35. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Smith catches left side. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be...
And the defense loses him. It's complete.
Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hockenson. An 80-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Quan Martin.
And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's out to the flat for Swift.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Hey, 73. Tiger Hornet.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Going deep here for Watkins. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Quez Watkins with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Eagles are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On second down, here's DeWanger.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Cousins now.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
He's been terrific so far. And this will be taken at the 13. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
This one complete down the field to Goddard.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Now this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts.
Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. Head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that